By the way, you don't need to get on video. I just like to do that to say hi, welcome kind of thing. Totally
Okay.
up to you. But I'm going to be sharing my screen the whole time. And at the end, I send you a PDF of the lesson notes. You'll have that to look at. I think I mentioned that on our phone call. And then we're
Yeah.
also screen recording. So that's maybe the
Okay.
more important part. You can go back and watch the video. You'll get a link
Hmm.
to the YouTube for this, and you'll be able to look at it at a later time. So we're doing a try it out lesson. If you have something you want to send over by email, that's great. If you have a website or something we can look at, totally up to you what we work on. I can try and find some things as well. What would you
Yeah.
like to do tonight?
There's a topic that maybe you can help me with. I'm trying to
Okay,
find it here real quick.
sounds good.
Um, see here. It's called arith. I don't think I can even pronounce it correctly.
If you could, maybe you could
Um,
drop it in the chat, or you can
let's see here.
send over a picture of it, or
Let me see here. Hmm, maybe that worked.
arithmetic reasoning. Okay, that's a pretty broad topic here. We definitely need a problem to. So let me just do a quick
Yeah.
Google search, see if I can find out what they. There it is. I found the ASVAB. There, you're mentioning that.
Yeah.
Um, of course, having some basic arithmetic word problems helps. You've already done this, but I found a few problems here
Hmm.
for us to look at. So what I'll do here is actually turn off my video when we get started
Okay.
here. I'll jump back on at the end, but I'm going to snip questions in and we'll look at them together. I would encourage you to take some notes, but of course you're
Yep.
going to have the problems available to you at the end as well. So um, hopefully you haven't done this problem yet, but this is one that came up right away. These are sort of numerical number-based problems. There's really no math to do, but
Hmm.
we can talk about that. All right. So have you seen this problem before, or is this totally new?
Totally new. I haven't seen
Okay.
it.
Okay, great. So it says 1 in every 9 people in a town vote for party A. All others vote for party B. So right away, I might write something down like 1 out of 9 vote for A, and for
Hmm.
B, that's the other 8 out of 9. Okay.
Okay.
Now, already kind of maybe in a problem situation, we got fractions. You're probably not excited about fractions.
Nope.
But let's just say, let's pick a nice number. Let's say that there were
Okay.
900 people in the town.
Hmm. Yeah.
Okay. And we know that 1/9 of them, or 1 out of 9, vote for party A. So how do you go from 9 to 900 is my question to you. What would you multiply by?
9.
9 to
Mul
900.
um 100.
100, yeah. So we
Yeah.
multiply the top by 100 as well. Okay.
Hmm.
So if there's 900 people, 9 times 100 is 900. That means 100 people would vote for A.
Hmm.
And if we do the same thing here on B, we multiply 9 by 100 and 8 by 100. We know that 800 vote for B.
Yep.
Okay, but that's not what this question is saying. It's not saying there's 900
No.
people in the town. It's saying that there's 810. So
Yep.
the question you have to answer is, well, how do you go from 9 to 810? Okay. And if you're not sure about that, how do you go from like 9 to 81? That would be a smaller question to be able to answer.
Is that, are you asking me how do we get there, like by doing division
Yeah.
or?
Yeah. What do you
Yeah.
multiply by to get from 9 to 810?
Um, well, 9 times 9 is 81.
That's right. So that's 9.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
the 90 gets you there. Okay.
Yep.
Awesome. So that's exactly what we needed to know here. So just let me actually reframe this problem here. A lot going on
Mhm.
already. So let me just scroll down here. Okay, so you just said it. You said 9 times 90 gets you to 810. So in party A, 1 out of 9. So you multiply by 90 to get to 810,
Yep.
which means you're going to multiply this by 90. Okay. For B, you're going to do the same thing. B was 8 out of 9. So to get to 810, you also multiply by 90. So you have to multiply this 8 by 90. So 8 times 9 is 72. Put the 0 at the end, 720.
720.
Yeah. Okay, so now you got to be really careful about what this is actually asking for. It says how many people for party B? Party B. So we actually don't care about the A answer. We only care about the B answer.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
How many people for? Yep.
So the correct answer would be 720. If it asked for party A, it would be 90.
90. Yeah, it's just this.
These are
I
tough.
noticed that these are tough, and a lot of them are on the test.
Yeah, I mean they're not all like this, but these are
Yeah.
definitely tough problems. Or these are kind of
Yeah.
that you see these on the SAT as well.
Oh, okay.
So let me do this for, okay, so let's look at another question here. 24 is not the answer because it's highlighted. It may be the answer. It just highlighted as I read this. So let's read it out loud here. A faucet gives 20 gallons of water in 5 seconds. Okay. So whenever you see something like that, it's good to kind of extract that information. 20 gallons in 5 seconds. Okay. Now, if we wanted to go to 1 second, what's the math operation? How do you convert 5 to 1 second? You got addition, subtraction, multiplication, division.
Subtract 4.
Subtract 4. Sounds reasonable. And never these ratio problems, though. You always use multiplication and division, never addition, subtraction.
Oh, okay.
So what would you divide by to get down to 1?
Man.
So any number divided by itself is 1.
Would be 1. Yep.
Yeah. So whenever you figure out this number, you do the same thing to the other side. You're going to divide it by 5.
Okay.
So can you tell me what 20 divided by 5 is?
4.
4 gallons. Now, maybe intuitively you knew that already. You're like, okay, 20 gallons in 5 seconds, 1 second, 4 gallons. You don't have to do the division this way. Like, I'm just showing you this. You should do it however you want. But you have to get it down to a base, like some sort of like standard, because we care about, in this problem, 7 seconds. Okay, so now we've got to go from, and I'll do this in a different color here, do it in blue. We want to go to 7 seconds. What's the math operation? Multiplication or division to go from 1 to 7?
Division.
Division gets smaller. Division always makes the number smaller. Multiplication makes the number bigger.
Gets bigger.
So we're going to multiply both.
From 1 to 7. Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah, multiply.
Yeah, and then we're going to do the same thing on the right. Multiply by 7.
So multiply by 7. Okay. 24.
Yes, 28 gallons. 28
Wait,
gallons.
28. Okay.
Now, are you? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
In these questions, are they? So I think you mentioned me just right now. In these kind of questions, it would always be, just division and multiplication, right?
Whenever you see rate problems like this, they're almost always multiplication and divisions.
Okay, that's good to know.
And so
sorry, I interrupted you.
No, the format's not great for that. It's like, am I talking? Are you talking?
Yeah.
No big deal on that one. All right, let me find some other problems here. Okay, give me just a moment here. I've got one like this. I'm just going to pull it up on it's been another place. Let's go to that one. Here it is. Okay. This is really similar to what we just did. I mean, it's not different numbers, but it's kind of the same idea. You need to write a
Okay, there goes.
relationship. Okay. So
Mhm.
go ahead and read this to yourself here. See what you come up with. And I'll help you work it out, but go ahead and give it a shot and see if anything makes sense to you when you read that.
Okay, physicians prescribes a treatment in which a patient takes 2 teaspoons of medication every 6 hours for 5 days. According to the prescription, how many teaspoons of the medication should the patient take in a 24-hour period? So the question is, how many teaspoons of the medication should
Yes.
the patient take in a 24-hour period? So
Yes.
for one day. So he takes 2 teaspoons every 6 hours. How many hours are in 24 hours? So we would multiply, right?
Yes.
Yep. 6 by 6 times what is it? 4.
Or I'm sorry. So I do remember what I want to ask you. Do you get a calculator on this?
No, I don't have a calculator.
But are you allowed to use one on the test?
Oh no, no.
No. Okay. All right.
No.
Okay.
I wish
All right. So you got to multiply
that would
this
make
number
my
by
life
4.
easier. Yeah.
Okay.
Um so 2 times 4 is 8.
8. There's your answer.
Yep.
All right. So I've got some ideas here on that front, but let me throw another question at you. See if
Mhm.
you can do this one on your own. It's very similar. But it's obviously it's not going to be the same words in any way.
Okay.
But yeah, these are non-calculator questions, so these are good for you to look at. So go take a look at that.
All right. Shariza ordered 3 cans of lemonade for each person at her party. She also orders 1 pizza for every 4 people. She orders 6 pizza. If she orders 6 pizzas, which of the following could be the number of cans of lemonade she ordered? Which of the following could be the number of cans that she ordered? 3 for each person at her party. Okay, there's a lot of numbers here, so we got 3 cans of for each person. Writing this down.
If you have a question, please ask. I'll definitely help you work through this, but
Yeah. Okay. Just writing this down. She ordered 6 pizzas. Okay, so the total pizza she ordered was 6. So we would 6 times 24, right?
yes, that's how many people.
So 6 times 24, 12, 24. So we have 24 people.
Yep.
And then we need the answer. The question is, how many cans of lemonade did she order? So she ordered 3 for each person. So then we would do some, what is it, 24 times 3?
Yes.
4, 8, 12. My final answer would be 72.
Yes. Got it. Okay, very good. Now, if you want to use a calculator while we're working together, just because of time
Yeah.
being, so important, you're welcome to do that. I don't have a opinion on that, but I'll give you some things maybe to help with that part of the test. And I did find another practice exam, so I'd like to pull some questions from that to look at with you. Maybe we'll learn some other things here that are some other areas to help you with. So here's a problem. Very first problem in the arithmetic reasoning part of the exam. We'll look at this together here. It says the bride and groom invited 128 guests for their wedding reception. Okay. So 90 guests arrived. So 90 out of 120 arrived, which means 30 out of 120 did not. And sometimes you got to be that explicit. Yes, okay, 90 arrived, 30 didn't. What is this asking for here? What is the call to action here? What percent of the guest list was not present? Now, a couple of things here before you even answer that. You said no calculator a bunch of times. The only way you're getting C or D is if you have a calculator.
Okay.
Okay, so sometimes you can eliminate some answers there. All right, now
Okay.
the not present is 30 out of 120. Now, before you try to reduce that fraction, is there, you look at these two answers, 92% and 25%. Does one stand out to you more than the other for this 30 out of 120?
The 25 stands out to me more.
Yeah,
I
and
don't know.
like I look at 30 as being 1/4 of 120. You can say to yourself
Mhm.
30 plus 30 plus 30 plus 30. That gets me
Absolutely.
to 120. It's one
Mhm.
out of the total. So yeah, the answer is letter
Yeah.
B. So you actually
Yeah.
don't need to know a lot of calculations. You can potentially do it without that. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's interesting here. Number 2 is kind of the same way. So let me put that problem in front of you.
Yeah.
Whenever you see problems where there's decimal answers, and you
Mhm.
just said it, like if you're not allowed to use a calculator, like why would these even be here?
Right.
Okay. So the answer is D, but let's look at why. Okay. The
Okay.
answer is definitely D here. It says X is 75% of 360. Okay. So when I look at 75%, like I think of quarters. I think of it as 25, 25, and 25. And if I have one more 25, that gets me to 100%.
100. Mhm.
So 360, if we cut that in half, that's 180. And if we cut it in half again, that's 90. So 25% is 90, 25% is 90, 25% is 90, and 25% is 90. What percentage do you want in this problem?
75%.
So that would be the
Yeah.
90, the 90, and the 90. What does that add up to?
180. I'm trying to, sorry.
No, it's okay. Take your time. I know I'm
Yeah.
going a little fast here, but
Very good. Mm, 270.
270.
Yeah.
Okay, but we also kind of noticed that, now you said you took the test once, right? Or you didn't do well. Do you remember if the test had questions like this where there was decimal answers and then not?
I could,
That's okay.
um, yeah, I can't remember. I did take, it was like, they call it, it's like, they call it a PICAT, it's abbreviated, but, so what that means is you take that one. If you do good on that one, you would have to go and take like a shorter version and pretty much confirm your answers.
Okay.
So that's what it was.
All right. Well, let's keep going with this.
Yep.
The more practice, the better. And
Yep.
let's do it. So here we go here. So this problem says in a bundle of 30 fruits. So to me, I take that to mean that there's a basket and it's got
Yep.
30 in there. 6 are apples and the rest are oranges. So how many oranges are there if the rest are oranges?
So 30, 30 minus 6 would be 24.
24 oranges, good. Okay.
Yep.
Now it says the question it asks, what percent of the bundle is composed of apples? Okay, so we actually didn't need to know, we don't actually need to know how many oranges there are. Sorry about that.
No.
We only need to know how many apples there are. How many apples are there?
6,
And how many total are there?
30.
30. So the percentage is always the part over the whole.
Mhm.
Now, again, I'm going to just tell you, like, if what you're saying is true, and it's not that I don't believe you, it's just that it does help eliminate some answers here. Like that's not even
Yeah.
reasonable. Okay. So
Yeah.
we're down to A or C. Now, A is really
Yeah.
close to 50%.
Hmm.
6 is not very close to half of 30. Like I know half of 30 is 15, so do you. It's
Hmm.
probably not 47%. But why is it 20%? Why is it 20%? Any idea why that worked? Why that's the correct answer here?
I mean, the percentage of I mean, to me, what sticks out is six is does six go into 20,
It goes into 30 though. It does go into
30?
30.
Uh-huh.
30 divided by
Um,
6 is 5.
mhm.
6 divided by 6 is
One.
1. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let me do this real quick here. So I'm gonna drop in the chat here. I got a just a basic multiplication table reference sheet.
Mhm.
I think staring at this at some point will really help you get faster, but there's also a ton of like online stuff
Yeah.
for this. You need to get a multiplication table in front of you so that
Mhm.
you'll get really comfortable with your math facts, your basic facts.
Yeah.
And there's
Yeah.
no like shame in that. It's like you just need it for this test. Okay. There's tons of apps in the game store, games in the app store for, multiplication, division, like that's what you need to get faster at. That's clearly going to
Um,
hold you back on this test. I think your comprehension of the problems is really good. I don't think you understand. I don't think you know how to do the math stuff fast enough. So that's kind of one area I
yeah.
would say, let's get some time on that. But let's keep going here. We'll go another couple minutes here for the tried out lesson here. So
Mhm.
Grace answered 14 out of the questions correctly. 14 out of 20
Mhm.
correct. So that's 14 over 20.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, when it's asking for percentage, it's asking for a percentage. What's really nice is if you can get to 100, because if you know the number out of 100, that tells you the percent. So again, kind of another question to you is how do you go from 20 to 100? What do you multiply
With
by?
uh 10.
20 times 10 is 200.
Oh,
Oops, I wrote the wrong 20. I wrote the wrong thing. 20 times
no,
10 is 100, is 200. So 20 times 5, because it's half of
5.
10, gets you to 100. Okay.
Okay.
Which means you need to multiply 14 by 5. Okay. Now, before you go off and try to do that, let's look at what answers are not reasonable based on that.
Mhm.
It's going to get bigger. 14 times 5 is going to get bigger. So that's out.
Yep.
And 17 is out.
Yep.
So you're down to 2. Now, like I don't want you to guess because I think you can do these types of problems with some practice. But if you're guessing, it's better to guess with 2 answers than with 4. Much better chance of
Yeah.
getting it.
You have a 50-50 chance, right?
Right. You feel a little
Yeah.
better than 1 out of 4. But let's do this correctly. This one
Yeah.
is not on the multiplication table. I can definitely talk you through how to do that here if you've forgotten. So you take that 5 and you multiply it by the 4. That's
Mhm.
20. So you put a
20.
0 here with a carry of
Yep.
2. 5
Mhm.
times 1 is 5,
5,
plus 2 is 7.
7. Yep.
Okay.
Sweet. Yeah. It's kind of like I've told you before. I've been out of school for almost 9 years.
Yeah. And nobody ever asks
Um,
you to do this by hand, I'm sure.
no.
I mean, in your
And
job, you don't have to do this stuff.